Florida State and Mike Norvell made a big jump forward this past year in 2022. What did they need to do to take the next step as a program? They're already a program, not a program. They're a program. One of those teams that controls the internal and does things the right way and focuses on them and not the other team. I love what Florida State is doing, but what do they have to do to take the next step? To play for national championships again, to be that team that makes the college football playoff. The table is set, but how do they get there? A couple of things that play into it. The most specific position I'm looking at is Jordan Travis at quarterback. He took a big leap from 2021 to 2022. His numbers, we've talked about it before on this show. We'll do it again. 15 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 7 rushing touchdowns. Not bad, not elite in 2021. In 2022, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 7 rushing touchdowns. So you still have the production on the ground, but he added more through the air. He made better decisions. I am very excited about his maturation. Now, if he can take even another step and be in that 30-ish touchdown range passing, if he can keep that on the ground production, if he can even cut back on those interceptions a little bit. I mean, it's tough to cut back much more from 5, but if he can stay at 5 or cut back, Florida State's going to be really, really good. Because the number offensively I think they need to be right around is 38 to 40 points a game. Now, that's elite. That is a high standard to set. I'm not saying they can't do it at what they did last year with 35 points a game. Obviously, that's a very good production. But if they could be right around 38 or 40, I think they have a chance to take that next step. Because think about what that would mean. If you're scoring around 40 points a game, the offense has to catch you. The opposing offense has to be able to keep pace with you. And there were games where that happened in Florida State. There were games where they scored, I believe it was 40-plus against Florida, and that was the difference maker. Florida was having a great day offensively. They were running the football really well. Didn't matter. Jordan Travis and co. were just having their way. Kind of the same thing we saw against Oklahoma in the bowl game. Jordan Travis, Johnny Wilson had a day at the office, and that was the difference. Can that be consistently who you are? Can that consistently be the game plan you're able to bring to the table? Because the defense is going to be able to get it going. Can the offense be elite? I think that's the first thing I'm looking at. For styles of games they can win, styles of games they can play, I would love to see them be in that 38 to 40 range to be in the next tier of the college football landscape. If you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love to have you at the party. We do college football content all year round, and we want you all a part of this. We want you a part of this community. We got a mic, got a camera, Nick Brake lifting heavy, but this is a community of people that just straight up love this game. All right? We'd love to have you here. Like I said, we'd love to have you subscribed. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram or on Twitter there as well, at JD Piquel. For them to be able to take the next step, I'd love to see Florida State establish state dominance yet again. Because this past season, you did your thing. Took down Miami, took down Florida. And you're the big dog in the state right now. Now, to be fair, Florida and Miami were in their first year under new head coach. So they're still kind of getting their sea legs. No mercy, that's fine. I'm all for it. I mean, you take care of your rival. That's the thing that you do. You take care of business. Now, if you can do it again, think about the conversation that would change for Florida State going forward. Miami and Florida, if you're 2-0 in the last 2 years against both those programs, combined 4-0, then you go into that recruit's home and say, I understand you got to offer from Miami. I understand you got to offer from Florida. But we take care of business. We little brother them consistently. We run this state the last 2 years. You sure you want to go play for them? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Do you see what we're building? Do you see what's humming here right now? I think that's an attractive pitch to make to future recruits. And so for Florida State, this is what we're talking about for next year, yes, for playing for the college football playoff and winning the ACC, that's a part of it, yes. But I'm saying for the future of Florida State. I'm saying for Mike Norvell to build this thing into winning multiple national titles, for playing for multiple ACC titles, for them to have the staying power. I think going back-to-back as state champs this coming season is a very solid brick to lay in that foundation. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but I think it's a crucial ingredient to them going forward. So now, the expectation is obviously, let's win the ACC. That is the bar that has been set, and that pressure is privilege. Mike Norvell has recalibrated expectations across Tallahassee by what he's been able to do. Now they're thinking even national title. But this coming season, let's beat Clemson. Like, I think that has to be the win that you get, the signature win for Mike Norvell to beat Clemson and establish yourself as the top dog in the ACC. I think it has to happen. Because think about this. Let's say you find a way to win the ACC, but you somehow lose to Clemson. In some world that happens. The conversation will be Florida State ACC champs, but they didn't beat the big dog. Like, Clemson kind of sputtered down the stretch there, but they didn't beat Clemson. To be the king of the conference, I believe you need to beat the king of the conference. And right now, that is Clemson. Historically, the last few years, that has been Clemson. Not counting the 2021 season. I'm saying just over the course of time. So for Florida State to stake their claim as an elite program across the college football landscape, beating Clemson, I think just optically, internally, would be a huge, huge morale booster. And like I said, a signal fire to the rest of the college football landscape. Florida State ain't going nowhere. We mean business. We're not just a one-year wonder. We've been building this thing, and this thing's going to keep humming for years to come. So Jordan Travis taking the next step has to happen. Has to happen to make the ACC title game, to make the college football playoff. I'd love to see him take that next step. Again, the magic number for me, 40 points a game. It's lofty. It's high expectations, but I think he is very much so in that ballpark. I think Florida State, with all the weapons they have, they're in that ballpark. Established state dominance again. Miami and Florida, we don't care you're in your second year. We're going to handle you yet again. And when we talk to recruits, we'll make sure they know that we handle you and we're planning to handle you going forward. Talent acquisition, name of the game, that would help with that in a very talent-rich state. Beat Clemson. To be the king, got to be the king. To be the king, you got to beat the king. That's what I'm saying here. You catch my drift. You beat Clemson. It's a nice feather in your cap, yes, but just optically. To slay Goliath would do a lot for momentum for this program going forward. This has been the Hard Count. Nick, Break, Lift, and Heavy. Like I already said, it's your show. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you subscribe and be a part of this community. Follow me on Twitter at JD Pickell and on Instagram at JD Pickell to do more of what you want to see. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.